Oh my gosh, I do apologize. Thank you for the few people who are still here waiting for the live. I lost track of time. Let me put this in the chat here. I lost track of time, meaning that I was so busy doing other things, getting ready. I didn't realize it was time for the live this morning. Good morning, Arturo. So I am a little bit discombobulated. This is one of my favorite words, not because of what it means, but rather how it sounds. Hi, Danny. Discombobulated, meaning a little bit confused, or you could also say, like, not on your game, not on your game. So, not ready, not like your usual self. So, today, welcome, everyone. I'm Tanya. Welcome to another 10 to 20 with Tanya. Today, we're going to talk about a real story about some students that I had a visit with in person. I was and am so excited to share this story with you. I had such a fabulous time. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Tanya. I think that's written in Russian, but it looks like it could be Tanya. Um, Welcome if you are joining us. I was just expressing that I'm uh, lost track of time. I could say time got away from me. I'm going to write that here. Time got away from me. I was taking Espy for a walk. You're sure to hear her bark here in a little bit. And I looked at my phone and realized I was already late and had not yet had my morning tea. So forgive me for not being as organized as I could be. My hair's all blown because I just came in from outside, but it's all good, right? This is a great example of I made a mistake. I can learn from this mistake and move forward. This is not a usual time that I have a live, so I'm so glad to see you here. And if you enjoy having lives like this, if you would like me to do more lives, be sure to like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe and share with your friends. Let them know that my normal time to go live, the time I go live regularly, is Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. Los Angeles, California time. So, what I want to do today is tell you about the visit I had with some of my students that I have live on Zoom and have known for quite some time, about 2 years, but had not met before. There's the past perfect for you. I had not met them before I met them this time live. They live about 2 hours from my home, and, we were able to meet and have dinner, and they brought me this gift, these earrings that I had hoped there's the past perfect for you again. One of the great things about making mistakes like being late, not that being late is a good thing. In American culture, we frown upon being late. We frown upon being late. What do you think this means? Do you frown upon being late in your culture? What do you think it means if we say we frown upon something? Go ahead and put your guess in the chat. I'm going to move some of these books I have here and make a spot for Espy to join me over here, hoping that she won't bark too much during our live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome from Brazil. If you haven't put the place where you are now, put it in the chat, even if you have been to a live before, because then other people can see where everyone is listening from. Plus, this is not a normal time for me to have a live. And so it will help me to see where people are in the world that can listen at this time of day. So I was talking about these earrings, and I was about to tell you about why I was going to use the past perfect to say I had planned to have these already on, but not like this. These earrings are really cool. These earrings were a gift from my student, and I'm gonna look at them here and see if I can do what I had planned to do before our class. Let me see. I think it goes like, oh dear, I may not be able to do this. So there's another part to this earring that if now here's the conditional with the past perfect. If I had done this before class, I would have them ready. So these are so cool. You can wear these earrings like this, or like this, or like this. So I was going to demonstrate or show that to you, but I am ill prepared. I am ill prepared is a very professional way to say, or you could say professional or advanced or formal way. I am ill prepared. I don't like to be ill prepared, so I feel a little anxious because I prefer to be prepared. Oh, Jobson, thank you for saying you will give me a thumbs up. Welcome from France, Russia, Algeria. Yes, it looks like these earrings are silver. The metal is silver. I'm going to hold them, see if the camera can get this a little better. Let me just see if my camera there, is that better? Is that more clear? A little bit on, is that more clear? We can't say, is that more better? We could say, is it better? Okay. So this will not give you much hint to where my students are from, because these earrings were purchased here in the United States. However, my first hint for you is actually still in the other room because I'm ill prepared. So come with me into my kitchen, which is right here where we were before, because I live in a tiny house. So I'm going to get a few things, a plate, a glass plate, and I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to get some of the things that they gave me as gifts, and also something that we discovered, or she discovered. So this was a family. The mother and the father, they are a family. When I say this was a family, I mean they who were here this last weekend. And the mother and the father have both been and are students of mine. And the child, the son, has been a student of Tiana's. So the great thing about today is that I get to eat some of what they brought me. So the first hint for where they are from is that she found and picked, or you could say harvested, this fruit, which looks like a cherry. But before you think this is a cherry, it is not. In fact, it is extremely sour. Let me put the word sour in the chat. This fruit is a fruit that they have in their native country. Do you recognize this very sour fruit? I'm not going to eat it right now, but I will make a little taste for you because then you can see visually what I mean by sour. Now, let me show you the tree. Looks like this. And how did she find this in my yard? Because this is a tree that has been planted I didn't plant it. It was planted before I came here in my front yard. And as you can see, it has a very dark leaf. The leaf on the camera to me looks almost brown, but it is kind of a red leaf. It's sort of a cloudy day today, so it's hard to see that this is sort of a red leaf. Do you know this fruit? And if you do, thank you for the compliments, first of all. If you do, put the name of the fruit in the chat. I'm gonna taste this one. Mm. Oh, oh, it is more sour than many fruits. A few fruits that are sour are a lemon, a lime. This is not the texture of a lemon or a lime. It is more, believe it or not, it's more like an apple. It's crunchy like an apple. It's crunchy like an apple. So I put these words in the chat here on the live. And if you're listening to the recording, you can find them on the side of your screen. If you are watching on a computer or a laptop, they'll be on the side of your screen if you make the image smaller. Okay, so this is the first hint. Does anybody want to guess where my students might have been from? Any guess is helpful. Anything actually that you write in the chat, if you say hello, if you say, yes, I know, no, I don't know, this is helpful for the live. So put your guesses or I don't know or whatever you want to do to practice your English, write it in the chat and I will give you another hint. So I've got my plate here. They also brought me this pastry. And this pastry, I'll show you the label here in a minute. But first, let me show you the pastry itself. Looks like this. It is, I will just say, delicious. I have half here because we have already eaten. Already is a word that signals that we need to use the present perfect, but we have already eaten the other half. This is so delicious. I should have had a napkin, but I was ill prepared. Okay, I'm going to cut just a sliver. When we say we're going to cut a sliver, we mean a very small piece. I'm going to cut, let me put it here. I'm going to cut a sliver. Thank you so much for those who have already put things in the comments. Is it a kind of decorative cherry? You know, it does look like a decorative cherry. What a great way to describe it. A decorative fruit is a fruit that looks exactly like the fruit you eat, but it's decorative. You don't eat it. You use it as a decoration. No, this is not a decorative cherry. Cherry trees have green leaves. Excellent guess, though. Um, and RB says they appreciate the vocabularies. Thank you for letting me know what you appreciate because it helps me to make plans for you and what to do. Okay, so here is what the pastry looks like when it is cut in a sliver, a very small piece. And now Pippa is here, Espy is here, everybody is here. They want to taste the pastry. Mm. This is the opposite, pardon me. This is the opposite of sour. Mm, mm. Which brings me to another American cultural thing. We never talk with our mouth full. Mm. It is so good. It is sweet, but not too sweet. Here's Pippa. Pippa does not like to be picked up, but I'm going to move her because she wants to eat the pastry and play with the earrings. I have never seen this pastry before, and I've never tasted, obviously, I've never tasted it if I haven't seen it, but I could eat this whole half this morning. I'm not going to, because I've been saving it to show you, and I am going to share it with Tiana. NB says the cherries are delicious in their country this time of year. Here too, this is the time of year where it's maybe just a little late here in Southern California, but we see cherries here in May and June. And actually, I know that up in Montana, they have cherries later in the season because it's cooler up there, I think. So, mm, mm. With the tea, it's just perfect. Okay, Pippa's going to want this. Okay, I'm not going to show you the name of this pastry because that might give away the country. But I'm going to show you the label because that might give you a hint. The label is this golden color, which is very common, at least from my perspective as American, as an American. They use a lot of gold color. Okay, let's see. This other pastry is a type of cookie. I'm going to show you. It comes in a tin. We call this a tin. Like the number 10, 10, this is a slightly different pronunciation, tin. And it is full of this paper and flour. I don't know if you can see because I don't want to make a mess here on my computer. Oh, you can see the flour here. There is a lot of, it looks like there are no cookies because it's all full of flour. There, you can see the flour a little better there. And if you get a cookie out of here, it's all covered in flour and you tap it like this to get the flour off of it. Okay, someone is familiar with this cookie, I think. Now, this is also sweet. I'm not going to eat it right now because it is very chewy. I'll put that word in the chat here in a minute. Chewy, like, like when you chew gum. But this cookie is made of nougat. So let me put nougat. Oh, I got my all caps on. Nougat is what it's made of, and nougat is very chewy. So Ali is talking about baklava. This is a little different than baklava. Eat kebab. I wonder if that's is that the name of this cookie? Eat kebab. So this is all in another language, except I can tell you it does have fards, pistachio, and pistachio nougat is what this is called in English. Pistachio nougat, and it's packed in flour. And now Pippa wants to play with the paper. When we were tasting these cookies before, they're slightly sweet, not too sweet. This is one of the things that I noticed is really nice about these pastries and desserts is they're not overly sweet. They're very light, sweet, delicious flavor. And Tiana noticed right away, not maybe immediately, but soon, that it had rose water in it. Rose water would be very common in this particular country. Does anybody have any guesses? I haven't even seen one guess for the country. There's hundreds of countries in the world, so just see if you have an idea or a guess and put your guess in the comments there. So I can give you another hint. In fact, we are almost out of time, so I'm going to give you this last hint to see if you recognize. I'm going to see if I can cover up these English words. See if you recognize this writing. What kind of country uses this type of writing? Or you might see this. If you saw this, what part of the world would you say this is from? And while we're doing that, I'll tell you a little bit more about our time together. We had dinner. They were staying in an Airbnb and prepared some kebab. Kebab is something we eat here, but it is not, what do you say? It's not native to the United States. It's not indigenous. Let me put that word, indigenous to the United States, meaning it's not from here originally. Okay, we have 2 guesses, 3 guesses. Does anyone else have a guess before I tell you where these people were from? Let me tell you a little bit more about them. These people, the 3 that I met, but all of the people I have ever met from this country, and I haven't met hundreds, but I've met more than most Americans have met, um, because I have these people as students often. I have people from this country, in my workshops here or on Instagram, and these 3 people were so kind, so sweet, what is the word I want? In Spanish, it's amable, which means kind, but I like the word amable in for some reason describes it even more. They were amiable is a word that we have in English, but it doesn't describe it as well. So generous, so peaceful is the word I want. And everyone I've ever met from this country is this way, and it's just, a lovely is another word I would use. Um, so chewy really is a special English course. Yes, chewy is a word we like to use to describe food often. Okay, I see just the 3 guesses. I thought maybe some of you would play along. When we play along, it means to, participate. You might because this is such a great way to, practice your English. Okay, so Ali says kebab is very famous in my country, which is Turkey. Um, but before we had 3 people guess Iran, and I'm not positive I'm saying that correctly, but yes, Iran is oh, Espy has decided to Espy, come here. She's gonna bark, but having some of this pastry is even better than barking, right, S? So I'm just gonna give her a tiny little bit. Yes, these people are from Iran. Now they are Americans living here in the United States, so we would say are Iranian Americans. I am a Caucasian American, if you want to see how you would, describe me. We have different ways of describing Americans because we are such a melting pot, meaning that we have people from all over the world, and so Americans don't all look the same. They all come from all over, they have different traditions, like eating these pastries that I shared with you today. And does anyone know, any of you who are maybe from Iran, what is this little fruit called? I can't say it. They tried to teach me to say these words. My Iranian pronunciation needs work for sure. Let's see. If you have any last questions, put them in the comments here. Gaz made with whipped white egg mixed with sugar on the heat. Let's see. Molovala says this. Can you tell me what you were referring to when you said that? Ali says that the kebab. Oh, sorry for Espy. There's a dog barking outside. Espy, come here. Lie down. Ali says, especially the east side, I think he's speaking of Turkey, which is closer to Iran, has the kebab. We had different types of kebab, which were all delicious and I almost forgot to say, this delicious cucumber tomato salad, which I'm going to make either today or tomorrow. She taught me how to make it. Yes, Ali says the dog wants some kebab. She does, but what she wants is this delicious pastry. Yes, if there were kebab here, there's the conditional again for you. If there were kebab here, she would want the kebab for sure. All right, I have made quite a mess, and I have a meeting that I have to go to with other teachers. And so I have to go, but thank you so much for coming, for listening, for participating. I hope you learned at least one new word today. If you are interested in classes on Zoom with me, check out the link that will be below in the description for our Women Speak Better program and our individual lessons for men, women, and children with either myself or Tiana. You can send us an email. My email address will be, when I post this, will be in the description before. Iranians call this sour cherry albalu, mabli. Thank you so much, everyone. I have this tree right outside my home, and I have never known I could eat these cherries or make a sauce. So I think making a sauce is the way to go with this because they're so sour. Espy, do you want some pastry? Do you want some pastry? Is the way to go because the sour is too sour for me, which is interesting because I do enjoy sour foods a little bit, actually with other things. All right. Thank you again, everyone. I will look forward to seeing you in another live soon. Be sure to go and comment and let me know how you liked this video on the recorded version, and I will see you again soon. Have a great day.